Hello friends, welcome back to another Uncovered, where I teach you my tips and tricks for singing popular music. Today we are breaking down Talking to the Moon by Bruno Mars. So let's get right into it. The very first phrase is what I want to talk about. I know you're somewhere out there. So it's the there that I want to talk about. So the tendency is going to be, I know you're somewhere out there. And you kind of clench in here. So I want everything to be very relaxed. I know you're somewhere out there. There, I'm talking, it's fine, it's easy. That's how it should be. The other tendency is going to be to reach for it. I know you're somewhere out there. That's also not good for your voice. What I do a lot of times with my students is we do warm-ups and we do this. And you just stretch your voice, your chest voice, because that is where the heaviness is going to lay. So that's it on all of these ascending phrases. I want you back. And you repeat the phrase, I want you back. So with this one, and every time that this happens, because that is the form of this poem, so to say, the song, the last two lines are repeated. Why would someone choose to repeat the same lyric? Well, this in and of itself, we could break down in an entire class about lyric writing, but for our purposes today, there are two main reasons that someone would choose to repeat a phrase. Number one is for emphasis, and number two is for reflection. So either the energy becomes more present, I want you back, I want you back, or it becomes less present. The energy becomes more distant into yourself. I that's not right. I want you back, I want you back. This concept can be applied to every repeated phrase in the song, like I was saying earlier, and I would recommend that you switch it up. So don't always make it for emphasis, don't always make it for reflection. It depends on the phrase and it depends on you. This is a very individualistic thing and there's no right or wrong answer. Just do what you feel and what connects you to the text more. All right, and then we get into the chorus and let's talk about this beautiful ooh vowel. So ooh is a pure vowel. Ooh, you wanna pull it like a string. A lot of choir directors do that. So you want to get a good mix on it with head and chest voice, which for me, it means lifting my zygomatic arches here. Talking to the moon. Instead of making it a pure, completely in my head voice, talking to the moon. It makes it sound darker, more mature. And also more classical. So if that's what you're going for, good on you, you do that. For a pop song like this, for myself, I want the mix with my chest voice as well. So when you feel the resonation, it's going to be, like I said, you raise this here, moon, but it's still resonating in the head as well. And if I'm being honest, there is a little bit of sound escaping through the nasal cavity. Talking to the moon. So when I plug my nose, so I can plug my nose and you hear a nose sound, that means that there's no air escaping through my nose. Now when I talk like this, you hear it escaping through the nose. That sounds really funny. What that means is the air is passing through the nasal cavity and escaping, like I said, through my nose, which gives it a different color. My whole life, I was told that singing out of your nose is a bad thing and you should be able to plug your nose and sing it should sound the same. And then I was introduced to French art song and there is a lot of nasal vowels in that. And so learning all those intricacies was a fun time in my life, but I digress. Back to Bruno Mars. All you need to know is, you don't want it to be completely in the chest or completely in the head. You want it to raise the zygomatic arches and allow air to pass through the nasal cavity. If you want it to sound like me, obviously you do what you want, but I'm just telling you how I sing the song. And the last thing to mention about the chorus on these descending moon, the human tendency is going to be to let everything shift down as the note descends. Talking to the moon. which is fine. It doesn't have a huge impact on the sound, but it will feel a lot better in the long run if you can train your voice to stay what I call on the same shelf. Talking to the moon. You might not have been able to hear a difference there, but I could feel it in my voice, and what it does is it makes it less tired because you're not moving so much in here. Depending on the kind of voice that you have, if you have a larger voice, you want it to do less work so it doesn't get tired as easily. So yeah, just practice keeping it on the same shelf. There's some vocal warm-ups that help with this as well that I can share in another video. But for now, let's keep moving right along. To the moon, oh, that makes me remember another thing I wanted to say. This little thing that he does getting out of the chorus. Let me do a better demonstration of that. What he does is talking to the moon. Oh, I think he does something like that. Obviously I do not do that. And I want to encourage you to come up with your own quick little riff there. It's so small, and this is really what can make the song your own. So feel free to experiment and figure out what maneuvers you can do in your voice that make you sound the best. For me, that's descending. For Bruno Mars, it's using those few notes, whatever he does, I don't know. If you decide to do a creative riff, link it down below. I want to hear what you do. But anyway, now we are in the second verse, which is quite similar to the first verse. Wow, this must be a pop song. Sorry, that was not shade. I guess let's talk real quick about a stylistic thing that he does quite often. Talk of the town. He does that back and forth, town. Obviously this is just two notes. Town. It's gonna differ person to person how you approach it. For me, I feel that more in the back, opening up back here, town. For some other people, it may be more forward, town. It depends what kind of color you want on the phrase. The other thing to know with little ornaments, you would call them, I guess, town. What is your principal note? Meaning which one is the one that you go back to? Would you say it's the town, or would you say it's town? I would say it's the first one, town. The other notes around it need to be less important, and you need to put stress on the more important one. I hope that makes sense. Then it pretty much repeats. You go back into the chorus, you might want it to be stronger. I know I did. So this just means I needed to put more power behind it. For me, that also means using more head voice because my head voice is stronger than my chest voice, especially in higher notes. I mean, it's not very high, but by adding more head to the mix, it sounds more supported, which is what I want. It makes it sound bigger, like it's a bigger note, a bigger song, a bigger part. There's more power in it. If you stay completely in your chest voice, you're gonna sound like you're screaming. And we don't want that. So feel free to mix it. And of course, the point of vocal training is to strengthen those parts of your voice that aren't as strong so that they can give you the support that you need when you want them. Like when you're singing Talking to the Moon by Bruno Mars. I'm a mess today, y'all. I'm a mess. Anyway, let's stop while we're ahead. I hope that you found some value in this video. I hope that you found a tip or a trick that works for you when you're singing this song. If you have additional questions, feel free to leave them down below. I'd be happy to answer. I would also love to work with you. If you're preparing a specific song, or you have an event coming up, or if you just want to learn how to sing in general, shoot me a DM on any of my socials linked down below, or send me an email, or leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. So that's gonna be it from me for now. Thank you for watching again, and I will see you in the next one.